Hi everybody, it's Kim from Creating It Vintage by Kim. Welcome on in. Let me sit this a little better for you guys here. Okay, let's see what I'm doing. This is a flameless candle and it's like a cashmere color. You can use any flameless candle for this project. This happens to be a real tall one also. But a couple different things. I had stamped a bunny on my coffee stained muslin, and you could trim it up and put that on the candle. I like that. That looks really cool, doesn't it? I do like that. So I might have to do that to my next one because I wouldn't go live and show you just that, right? And the other one, we also have some doilies we could put on. And I just got this French tulle tissue paper. And it's kind of like a, what do I want to say, like a beige color. It's not like white, but it doesn't have a white background. I'm thinking that might look good on here too. Hi Janet. Thanks for popping on. I appreciate all you guys. And this tissue paper I just ordered from Amazon. It is really pretty. Oops, that's upside down. Isn't that beautiful? And I'm thinking, let me just get one page out and see, that might be the route I'm going to go on here, since it's such a big candle. Because sometimes when you put a print like this on a smaller candle, the print kind of gets lost. So let me just see here. I don't know. Okay, that doesn't do anything for me. So I don't think I'm going to use the tissue paper. You can see I do trial and error with you guys. So you can learn as I'm learning and what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is this other technique that I did on a candle I have in the other room. And it's easy. You could do it on any candle. Oh, I'm glad you're here too, Janet. Hi, Gail from Ontario. I'm glad you popped in. So what we're going to do is this other thing. Like I said, I was inspired from Tammy Loves Vintage. And that's what we're going to do today. So, all right, I have some, let me grab this here. This is just coffee stained muslin. I think it's a little pink in color, but it doesn't matter because we're going to cover the whole thing. Okay, so let me set this aside and let me cut this. I need to trim off this bulky end here. And I like the ends all ratty like that. And I think I'm going to get it, that thick. Like about 1.5 inches thick. Because this is going to kind of roll up on us. Okay, set that aside. And bring our candle back. And we just wanted to wrap around our candle. So, probably right there. Oops. You can see those are not my fabric scissors. Okay, set that around. So that's all you need. It's a fabric that'll fit around. Now, since this is a taller candle, I'm just thinking about this, we can make this thicker, but you'll see what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave it that size. And let me turn my glue gun on. I forgot to put that on. So since I forgot my glue gun, turning it on, let's use some Mod Podge. Let me squirt some in here. Okay. So we're just going to Mod Podge it up. And like I said, I didn't have anything ready today. We're just winging it and going to town. I'm just going to start with some Mod Podge on the fabric, just so I could get it in the right place I want it. And the last one I used Warm and Natural when I did this part, because it's a little thicker and I like that. So I like it right there. Okay, and then I'll tack it down with a little bit of hot glue there. Okay, so you're just putting like a little waistband around your candle, so to speak. Okay, tacking that down with some Mod Podge. Okay. This paper's going to keep pulling up on me. And I think that's pretty, well, it's as pretty straight as I'm going to get. And I cannot, again, my Facebook is not letting me read any comments. It just says people are watching. So, again, I apologize for that. Every now and then a comment will sneak in there. Hold on. I didn't. This is not as straight as I want it to be, but it doesn't have to be perfect, and you'll see why. Okay, because we're going to start applying all kind of fun things on this to make it look very old and very vintage. Let me just get this out of the way. I was stamping here. So these are tiny doilies that I got from Amazon. And to be honest with you, I coffee stained all these little doilies. Just brought them in from the porch. And they were too dark for me. They looked almost gray. So what I did was just throw them in hot water and wrung them out to the color I liked and re-dried them, and they're fine. So we can add a doily on here. You could just do this and add a bling in the middle and be done with it. How gorgeous is that? So we might add a doily, but let me reach over here and get some paper. Oh, let's see here. It's all gonna fall, I think, but that's okay. I got some, oh, this didn't work. That was not dark enough. I got this little pack of vintage stuff, and I have an old vintage music sheet. And I got all these materials from Tammy Loves Vintage. I don't know if she still sells these, but she used to sell these packs where you get all kind of little papers, and like these papers, it's written in German. So I'm going to use that. There's like all kind of goodies in here. That's in German. That one looks pretty cool. Okay, what's this? This is English. Okay, just from an old book. All right, and then this is like somebody's old ledger. Use that. Let me just set this aside for a minute and get a sip of iced tea. Hi, Trisha. Welcome in. Like I said, I'm really not seeing comments. Just a few every now and then. Oh, I have another comment. Dana. Smaller dollies on Whatnot in the Vintage Thrifted event on Craft on the Clock from Sue with the Living a Heartful Life. I've ordered from her. I haven't received some yet, but she has a lot of wonderful items. You are right about that. You know, I need to go more on Whatnot. I need to do a Whatnot. Why not, right? Why not do a Whatnot? Okay, and I think I'll just use this. So all I'm going to do is randomly tear some pieces. And the ones you really want seen, do those last, because you want like some, you know, back pieces. just tear this, and I think I tore 2 of them, right? This seems very thick. No, it's just thick music sheets. And see, we're just going to start placing them all around in different ways, okay? And I really want to place them around with my glue gun. I think we're good now. No reason, rhyme or reason. I think I did my other one actually with Mod Podge. So let's use a little of both because the Mod Podge will get the ends down. And I don't want to use that much glue. Let's stick with our Mod Podge. Now this is thicker paper, so I'm holding it down for a minute here. Hi, Mary Jo. I miss you too. I saw that. I'm not seeing many comments, but I'm glad I saw that one. And I'm glad that you guys are sticking with me while I'm not being able to see everybody's comment. So we're just going to do this and build around. See how my band is like this thick, and we can make it thicker for the high candle with just ripping our sheets of paper. Okay, so let's... Now that I keep wanting to think this is 2 sheets, but it's one. It's a 1 thick sheet, music sheet. I'm going to put this one right here. Let's stick it down with a little hot glue, and then we'll Mod Podge the edges. And this paper just doesn't want to stay like my parchment paper. But the parchment paper sometimes gets so noisy. I thought this would work better, but I don't think it is. Hey, Brenda, I see you're watching, but I can't read comments. Like I said, I was inspired from Tammy Loves Vintage on this. In fact, I was so inspired that she had a vintage, she has vintage sales also, which if you've never went to one of her vintage sales, you need to check it out. And I bought a couple of her candles that she made like this. And I'm like, oh my God, I love it. Now, as you see this, I'm not going to use any hard edges. But there's not much music like right here. But that's okay because I could decoupage something right on top of it. So right now I'm just looking for like the length of it going up and down. It's raining here in Pittsburgh. Or in Pennsylvania where I'm at. And I had my granddaughter today. We had a blast. I took her to dance, well not dance class, to gymnastics. Can't get that wrong. I was corrected. Gymnastics. And she is good. She's 3.5. And she had a blast. And so we went to the dollar store. $70 later. Who else? Give me hearts if you spend that much at the Dollar Tree like I do. Ah! I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, we could get that. Yeah, throw that in there. And if I told her no, she would be okay with it. But I stuck in a lot of Easter candy and stuff for them. Because I used to buy really good Easter candy for them when they were 2 and 4, my Paxton. And they don't notice the difference. You know? Okay, so this is all we have so far. Okay. Now, I will tell you, you could probably do a strip, lay it down flat, you know, like this, and fill it up, and then put it around your candle. I think it would fit that way, too. The only thing you couldn't do is, I coffee stained socks, and I put socks up on a candle halfway up, and then that's when I've used these crochet doilies and put it on. Kind of like what you've seen on Barb with the shabby tree. Now that you couldn't do and then put on, but we could have probably laid this out and put it all together that way. Of course, I didn't think ahead. Oh, I see another comment. It's windy in Nebraska, Mary Jo. Oh, it's not too windy, but it's cold. It's chilly. I'm hot right now because we were playing. My granddaughter just left. And my daughter's ready. My daughter's like, Mom. Well, my daughter never was a glitzy girl, which I wish she was. She was more, softball was her thing. She was more into sports, okay? Fine. You know, you have to go with the flow, right? So Palmer, my granddaughter, is all into makeup and fingernail. We did our nails today. We made sure this nail had glitter on it. And this is dollar store nail polish. She did pretty good. Probably won't last till tonight, but we had so much fun. So I don't wear much makeup anymore. I have a lot of makeup, a lot of good makeup. My daughter doesn't want it. She doesn't wear makeup. So Palmer's like, Gaga, can I play with this? I'm like, sure, go ahead. So she's sitting at my vanity in the bathroom, and I'm on the bed watching with one of the creators. And I kept saying, you okay in there? Yeah. I thought inside myself, oh my God, I should really be checking on her, but I'm going to let her go. If my daughter would let me post the pictures, I would. She came out. She had black eyeshadow all over her eyes, on her cheeks. It was hysterical. I sent a picture to my daughter, and she's like, Mom, really? I said, oh, we'll wash it off. So I put baby wipes in there. I said, Palmer, wash it off, and you can go, do a different color for me. Okay. She came out all purple with a purple eyeshadow. And then what was the next one she did? I don't know, there was 3 or 4 different colors. I'm like, you're supposed to use the blush on your cheeks. And we used that diaper wipe after she was done. I can't get it all off. My daughter just picked her up. She says, Mom, we have to go to the grocery store, and she's going to look like that. People are going to think, what the heck do you do to your child? I'm like, I'm sorry. Sorry, Lauren, but we had a good time. I said that I told her I'd make her own makeup case, and when she comes over, she could do that anytime. I said, but when we do it, she promised me she'd take a nice, good bubble bath and let you wash her face off. Couldn't get it off. I don't know why you can't get eyeshadow off. I didn't have any makeup remover. And God forbid, I know my daughter doesn't have any. Oh, Lord. That'll be the next thing I'll be getting a call. Now this, look at how cool this is. Oh, this was 2 pages. I got 2. But this was like old writing on a invoice or something. Like March 9th, it says, William Harrison, 5.5 pounds of sugar for 30 cents. Isn't this cool, these ledgers? So, let's see, I want that writing to go up that way. Okay. And I'd rather see that kind of writing than the music sheet. But if you have somebody in your family that's like into music, just to do like music pages would be good, or somebody that really writes books, Sharpie markers, Linda. I know, at least it wasn't. Oh my gosh. The thing is, I let her go in and do it. I wasn't even like, I'm like, you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm fine, Gaga. I'm like, okay, honey. Oh my. I took pictures and sent it to my daughter at work. She goes, what the heck are you 2 doing? I go, having fun. She picked her up and she was crying. I go, listen, don't cry. You're coming back and I'll make your makeup case. Maybe we'll go back to the Dollar Tree and you can pick up what makeup you want. And hopefully the cheap makeup will come off easy. I hope so, but you would think good makeup would come off. Because even when I was younger and wore makeup and eyeshadow, I never used like eye makeup remover. I just used soap and water. Okay, now these pages are so cool. And I'm very careful when I use these because I don't have any more. And it's all written in German. So I've done a couple things, especially at Christmas time. People are really into the German thing. Like if I have a tree, Christmas tree, and you have that little bottom piece, I have decoupaged all the German writing around it, and then I fluted up the tree. And people love that when I went to sell this. But see, now I'm going to be putting this, which I want on the top, see that, over top of these other pages. So the pages that you're not that fond of, put down first. And then the pages you really like to put on the top. So I'm hot gluing them in the middle. You don't have to do that. You could just use the Mod Podge, but I'm Mod Podging it also so my sides stay down. But I'm not going all the way up on the top part. Just on the sides. But I'm glad she was young enough not to really remember the candy I got. And then we got a lot of plastic Easter eggs because they'll all be over here for Easter. And this is the first year I told her we'll do an Easter egg hunt in the backyard. So my husband and I could put some money and some candy and all the Easter eggs and hide them. Waterproof for 24-hour makeup, Linda. That's exactly what it probably was. It was a whole little thing that opened up from It Cosmetics, which is good. It's like on QVC. And it had the blush here. It had tanner here. And a thing of eyeshadow. So I gave her a big thing, and I said, put your blush on your cheeks, a little this on there. She's like, okay. And she loves, like I bought her a little vanity thing in a chair she has at home, and she does real good with that. But this time, she really went to town. She had that eyeshadow all over her little face. And she left with black around her eyes and still some lipstick. Couldn't get that lipstick off. I'm like, oh my gosh. My daughter just looked at me with those eyes. She goes, Mom, are you trying to get me back for something? I said, never know, huh? All right, I want that lettering to go up this way. There we go. Go that way, and I could put a little piece there. All right. This is turning out cute just as this is. Whoa. Even with that printed bunny that I showed you at the beginning would look cute. I don't know. Diaper wipes are probably in my bedroom. In the bathroom. I don't have any in here. Okay, this is what we're getting so far. How cool is this? Okay, so I just want... This one has the date. See how it has the date up here? I want that. Oh, and this must be the name of the book or page. So I'm going to put that on there where you can kind of see it. December, or does 18. I think that would be December 18. And my husband's all German. So for me, this is kind of cool. Get right there. And he speaks German. Not as fluent as he used to. So these German papers are pretty cool for me. But you know, otherwise, like people say, like, you're ripping this up. I did some books the other day, and I'm thinking, oh, somebody's probably out there going, you know what you're doing to that book? But first of all, nobody's reading a book. I got them free because nobody wanted them. See how that turns out right there? Like you can kind of see that. And I'm putting it to use, really. I'm repurposing it. DAS is not December, because here it says DAS 9. So I'm wondering if that, and I'm probably saying it wrong, that must be chapter maybe? Oh, and look at how intricate this little design is. I'm going to make sure that goes on there too. I'm still not seeing comments. Like I said, guys, every now and then one pops through. So I'm not ignoring you, I promise. Let me get a little drink here. Now, let me tell you a secret. Not a secret, but these candles, how many did I get? 1, 2, 3, 4, like maybe 5. QVC. This is cashmere. And if you go to QVC, like my mother's a QVC shopper, but if you go online and put as is flameless candles, that's how I got these, and they weren't that expensive at all. They were under, for all the candles, it was under $20. Now, as is, from what I understand, I've never had a problem from as is, but as is might be something somebody returned because they didn't like the color, or something they might have used on a show, you know, when they were selling the item. But I've never had a problem, and it's so... You could, I mean, I forget what I was going to say, but it's very affordable that way. All right, let's get this. But that's where I got the candle. And I've been dabbling in a lot of candles lately. Because for those of you that follow me, I love that right there. Yeah, right there. am now putting some of the stuff that I make in a little shop. And so I thought I'm going to do some flameless candles and do stuff like this to them. Where by the time if you ordered them full price and you paid for the shipping, you have to sell the candle for $50. It's not worth it. But this way, if you buy them as is and do them, you could get I could sell it for a really nice candle and maybe make only $5, but still. See how you're going up and down over that piece you put around it. So it doesn't matter that it was like a little pinkish. You're not going to see it. It's just a guide to put this on, or like I said, you could have it laid out flat and do this and then wrap it around, but I like to do it this way because you're actually fitting it on. Now when you go to wrap it around, excuse me, all these little ends are going to stick out and you're going to have to go back around and make sure it fits just perfectly. And when you're done, if you want to, you could go over it with Mod Podge. All right, let me get this. So I'm still, because we're going to add more to this. You don't want any straight edges. When you get a straight edge, it just doesn't look nice. All right, I like that there. And you get all, oh, it's going over top of that. Well, let's put it over this way more. You're getting all the tones of all the different page colors. Okay, still I'm not reading comments. It just tells me people are watching. Like it'll tell me, it'll say your name and it says is watching, and I'll see that like 8 times. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Well, I just hope it comes back where I could read more comments. Here, a piece of that glue here. All right. Now tonight, if you guys are interested and you're up at midnight tonight, I will be on making a craft in my PJs. I'll be in my PJs. Alright, let me see. Oh, I see 2 spots I'm gonna get here. And I think I'm gonna get it with, here, let me, and look how nice their writing was back then. Wow, like, do you see that W for William Harrison? He got 2 cans of oysters for 20 cents and 2 crackers for 5 cents. He owed 25 cents. Oh my gosh. And look how cool this is that they wrote that. Look how they're writing. And isn't it sad that they're not going to teach cursive in the schools? I think that's ridiculous. Is that like laziness on the teacher's part because it's not computer? Or what? That just makes me sad. And then when I write something, what did I do? I wrote something in cursive. And why would I have to show it to somebody? I had to show it to somebody, they couldn't even read it. Like a teenager. I don't know what I would have had to write and show them, but. Okay, can you see that? So when you're looking at this candle, all around is history. All history and stories and. All right, let me see. Right here's a little spot I want to get. Maybe just this little number 90. I like how that's written. Okay. It's cute there. Like I said, you don't have to use glue, or you could just do glue and no Mod Podge. Your choice. Now that little 90 sticks in there. And then, let's see, what else do we want? I want something right there, like another little number. Somebody bought 3.5 yards, and 3 yards of muslin was 31 cents. I could have saved that one. William Martin, doctor, cash, $200. Now, I'm going to save this William Martin because, I'll put that on my candle, because Martin runs in my family. It was my great-great-grandpa's last name. How cool is that? Let's see, where do I want this? I want them to all be different and overlapping. Let's put that one right there. Getting some glue strings. Alright, still I can't read comments. This is almost like a tutorial, huh? Since I can't read the comments. See, you can layer them as much as you want or as little as you want. I need something there, and I was going to save this little music note. Yeah, I didn't want all this empty space here. These little ones I don't even need the Mod Podge for. Okay, I think, well, here, see, here's an empty space I want to cover. Let's find something. Now, when Tammy did hers, she added a lot of clock face watches and some vintage pieces on here too. So you could do that too. I don't have as many of those things. Let's see if I could get, I don't want to rip that apart. Okay, that's 268. Where did I want to put it now? Oh, this empty space. Okay. How cute that is sitting in a vignette. Isn't that nice? And that's what I like, ivory candles. And this cashmere is still like the neutrals. Okay, so the next thing I want to add, and we really didn't use that much of all this, the old, paper. But there's different kinds in here. So if you didn't have old vintage paper like this, you could just use music sheets or grab an old, a book, and then you can coffee stain it or, make it look more distressed. Just take your distressed oxide and you can add some distressing to it. Okay. It looks cute on the ends of some of these papers. Can you tell on there? Like, see the ends of some of them? Still got glue strings on a lot of spots. This really brightens, or not brightens, it distresses the edges really nicely. Okay. And some of the ends are turning up, like where that music note is here. And that's okay. I like that. I don't need it to all be flat, but I didn't want it all to like stick out where it looks silly. You could also use like fabric tack to do this, which I need to order more. Empty bottle I left out to remind myself. All right, so the next thing we're going to use is some seam binding, and you can use this multiple ways. This is the really thin seam binding I coffee stain. Let me show you the difference. I still have, oh, I got a whole bunch back here. I didn't put in my drawer. I was going to say I just got done coffee staining a bunch of seam binding, and this is the thicker. So here's the two differences. Not much of a difference, but when I make little things and little bows, I like this. Oh, I see a comment. You should print a few pictures of your granddaughter and make her a journal of you and her fun times. Linda, that's an awesome idea. And I have pictures. I took millions of pictures, but to make it, I love it. I'm going to do that. You know what else? You gave me a thought. You could print pictures in black and white and put pictures on here, or maybe like of your grandparents or your mom and dad, like their wedding picture. Maybe put one picture of them on here and all like embellish it with all different things around here of things they might like, or different, or other black and white pictures. You know, I wouldn't use the regular picture. I would, you know, photocopy it. Couldn't think of the wording there. That would be pretty too. Okay, so I'm going to use my little one so I don't make too big of a bows. And some of these I like to do is not even use this. Let me grab my, and make just a regular little normal bow on these types of candles. Let me pull this. All right, no more comments again. Doggone it. And if you guys have questions afterwards, I will read and see if there's anything I need to answer. Pull that through. This side a little bit more here. All right, now see the tails are very long. And I don't mind that. I'm going to put this one right there. And I could trim them up later if I want. Now this I do put on with hot glue. Okay. Now that was the, let me show you a bow with the little seam binding the same way. We could put it right by it if we need to. The birds are chirping away. They like the rain. Also, when we went after dance class, we went spend all that money at the Dollar Tree. I didn't get anything for crafts. Oh, I see Kathy. Where do you find the seam binding? I know you said before you forgot. I saw the comment. The seam binding I got is called Snug Hug on Amazon, and I buy it in white, and I coffee stain it. And I'm going to start selling coffee stained bundles. I just have to what do I have to do? I have to make the little packets and see how much I need. I need to order some more seam binding. And it's been raining. And when I coffee stain, I like to sit mine outside so the natural sunlight will kind of bleach the coffee into it. I don't like putting mine in the stove. So I have to wait for another good sunny day. And then I'm going to sell some of it. So you guys that don't want to go through that whole process, you don't have to. I'll do it for you. So there's the big bow, and here's the smaller. See the difference? Now this little seam binding is 1/4 of an inch. It's kind of hard to find. And this is the regular 1/2 inch, I think it is. Let me see if I have one here. Just show you. Oh, I think I might. No, this is a different color. This is a seam binding, but it's not Hug Snug. Hug Snug is the one I like. But just make sure it says rayon. It's not cotton. It's 100% rayon. This color's pretty too. And it comes in a roll like this. And it's straight like this. And you have to crinkle it. And I coffee stain mine. I get mine in white. And I bought this color. And I bought, I think, pink and red. And they're like $20 for one of these. They're not cheap. And I found it easier to go on Etsy and order little packets of colors. So I just order white now and coffee stain them. Oh, Barb, thanks for spreading the vintage. Oh, you'll buy some? Okay, Kathy, then I will get on making sure I make little packets. And I don't want to charge too much or anything. I have no idea, so I'm going to look on Etsy and see what they're doing. All right. Because if you don't coffee stain, I might put that bow right under. It kind of looks cute. Or do any of that. It's easy, but it's a pain in the butt when you're doing a lot of it. And like I told my husband, I need another baking sheet. Because that's what I do. I put mine on a baking sheet. how cute that looks. Those two. And I sit them outside for the sun to dry. But if you don't have a big enough baking sheet to like kind of spread them out, or like when it's really hot outside, I have different areas. I don't care if the coffee gets on them. But like when it's kind of iffy outside, I put them on my baking sheets. And what hurts me is after I coffee stain them is wringing them all out. Oh, hurts my hands after a while. Oh, joys of being old, right? But I'm glad I'm still here. This is about all the vintage I have. I need to get some more. But you could put a vintage key on here. And you could just build all the way around different things. So I have keys. I have this skeleton key. And see, I'd make sure you put a bow. I have a button on that one. Which I think I might put... I'm going to put it right there alongside that music sheet. Let's see. I'll show you that in 1 second. Hold that on there. I'm not seeing any comments again. Look how cute that looks coming down from there. So what you want to do is build around, so whatever angle you look at this, it's kind of neat. Gives you a story. And it's just fun. No, I don't know. Oh, I have other stuff in here. What's this? No, I did have some clock faces. I don't know where they went to. Put clock faces on here. No, that's not it either. I thought I have these little drawers in front of me. And I thought maybe I had one in there, but I don't. You could put jewelry. You could put bling around here. Because I mix bling with primitive. Let me show you what I mean. I have a little roll of bling, and I can't find that either. But I did buy this sticky roll. And I put this on it to hold it together. Here you go. But look, if you like some bling and old together, how pretty that would be. Now the other kind I have that I usually put with this is like one row of this. But you can cut this. Let me show you. So you can cut this to one row so it's not too much. And put that one row on it. See? Which I think would look better than this whole big strip. This is easier to deal with than the other one I have. It's like real jewelry and you have to hot glue it on. This is self-adhesive kind, and I ordered this from Amazon. And I have the painter's tape on it just to hold it together. And I could put like a little bit on here. I can't even ask you guys what you think because I'm not seeing comment. Oh, I see one comment. Oh, Kathy, I'm glad you like it. I think I'm going to try one little row around it. Why not? I get more creative when I'm on with you guys. Let's try that. I'll have to go under that. Okay, so about right here. Okay. And I can't find my other bling. I don't know what I did with it. But this should be easier to work with. Just staying right down that line there. Well, if you guys watch me at midnight, I have no idea what I'm making tonight. But it's on with the Crafty Bunch. And I'm not sure, I apologize to Nicole's having that tonight. Don't know when that starts. It might be on now. I gotta go check it out and watch the creators and support them. Okay, so look at the nice little string. Let me see if I could get this under our key we just put on. Nope, but that's okay. I'll go on each side of the key. That'll be our start and stop point. Watch, I won't get this on straight around the candle. Okay, here we go. And it doesn't need to be right in the middle. Oh my gosh. This is like night and day easier than gluing every little bit. And you can only use, when I had to glue my strand on, I covered the Morton name. You can only glue a little bit before the glue starts to dry. All right, let me get right there. Okay. Ha! Reposition some of this. How about that? A little blingy bling, huh? I don't know if I like it or not, but I could probably take it off. It doesn't, no, I don't know, it sticks pretty hard. Okay, let me throw that away. Not sure if I like that or not, guys. Trying to think, do I like that? I think I do. We'll leave it on. It's on there now. Now, some of these keys I put a button on. And if I was going to add this key like I did the skeleton key, I'd probably put a little bow on it. So, and that's all I have. Oh, let's add this. This is a different little pin. Not a pin, but I don't know if it's like a locker key or something. It's number 14 on it. I could hang it. Let me see if I glue it. It'll be glued there. Okay, so let's get, and this is another reason I like the thinner. There we go, a little piece of the seam binding than the thicker. Because if I'm going to go into a little spot like this, it's a little easier. The other one's not much thicker. I mean, it works perfectly, you know, as good as this does, really. I just like the look of it when it's thin. Hi, Natalie. Like I told the girl, I just see who's watching. Every now and then I'll get a comment through. All right, let me pull that bow down a little on this bow. And you can, oh, can't turn my hand that way. And actually, I wanted to show in this way, so let me flip the bow over. There we go. You could trim this as, you know, short as you want, or let it hang. And you put it right there by that number. Because you know this isn't going to lie flat on a rounded candle, right? Alright, I got 2 pieces. Now I need one more piece, like right in here. Now here's one I had blinged up a while back, which would look, let's put that on there. Goes with the whole theme there. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. You know, if you just want that side looks glittery and cool, and then this looks a little more vintagey, so you just turn it around. Like I said, and if you don't want that row of bling, don't put that on, because I'm still iffy about this. But I don't want it to rip my pages. And I'm trying to think, I like at least 3 things on there. Yeah, if I had more, I'd put more on. I have this, but I don't want to put just keys on there. Like if you had like a clock face, or you know, something like that would look cool on here. Or you can use your Totally Dazzled on here. So I have bows actually everywhere. I have a bow on that key. A little bow coming down. A little bow coming down there. Okay, guys. I got to take this bling around it off, I think. It's not working. It's tearing my page. So we're stuck with the bling. Stuck with it. So I'm going to have to like the bling. You love the bling, Natalie? I got that. Good. Right on this part, it looks cute because of the blingy key. Maybe I should put a blingy thing over here. Let me see. I got my bling. Bling, bling, bling. This is a vintage little piece. Let's see. Let's just put that on there and see if that'll stay right on that one spot. You guys are, I think, liking the bling. So here's a little bling over there to kind of pull it together. And on one side having bling and not the other. That's kind of cool, huh? Okay, and maybe we could add 2 more little blingy things and it kind of balance it a little bit. Because I think the bows are balanced. We need 2 blings. 2 little blings. Let me see. I don't think this drawer doesn't come out. You know what else would look cool on here is if you had... Hi, Barb. I see that comment. My booth's going good. We've only been open a couple days. And I think I sold 3 items that she told me. But she closed for another day for restock. And the main opening's beginning of April. So that was nice. Keep my fingers crossed. All right, now I have these little blings too. See those real tiny ones? That's what I'll put on there. 2 tiny ones. Let me find them. See this bag of bling? In the color I showed you and in white. All different shapes. It wasn't that expensive. I can't remember how much. And it was on Amazon. Okay, let me get 2 little white ones. And I think then we're going to be done. Oh, 3 of them came out. Okay, 1, 3. Put that back in there. I'm going to put 1 right there. So this is like vintage bling, right? See how that looks cute right there, that one, and then you come around, you have that teeny one right here. Okay, and that there. So we need just 1 right there. Oops, and if you're really into bling, you can make layers. Oops, I didn't even put any glue on there, I don't think. You know, you could put like a layer of bling down at the bottom, some on top. This self-adhesive bling is really nice, actually. Okay, and I have another little one just right there, all by itself. Okay, that's it for my candle today. I'm going to go sit this in the room and stare at it and see if I need to add anything else. But I really love it. But you need to pay attention because I wanted Martin to really show because that was my grandpa's name and I kind of hid it a little bit. Wasn't really paying that big of attention to it like I kind of wanted to. So if you have something special, make sure you don't hide it up with little trinkets and stuff. But I'm glad you guys joined me. I apologize for the fact I cannot read all the comments. Just a few came through. And again, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll answer them. And I will be putting it on my page, Creating It Vintage by Kim. The sale for the seam binding when I get that all ready. Okay? And that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and God bless. Bye-bye.